They talk about being obsessed with something like it's a bad thing. Like I shouldn't be obsessed with what I want. I shouldn't be obsessed with what I want to go after. In life, to get great at anything, you have to be obsessed. You have to eat it, you have to sleep it, you have to breathe it. We kind of only want to be good. We kind of want to be good. It's a sad, sad place being just good enough in every facet of your life. I'm hungry. There's winners and losers. You wear Team USA, I wear Jordan. We wear LeBrons. There are winners and there are losers. Winners win, losers lose. It's plain and simple. Which one are you? What are you obsessed with becoming?
They say legends die young.
I always ask myself why. Why does that happen if they make such a big impact on the world? All of you guys are here, and it's clearly evident that that guy had touched a lot of people in all the places that he's went. Wherever it may be, he's impacted someone's life, whether it was training or talking to them about God or basketball or whatever it may be. May you rest in peace and look over us with your infectious personality and smile down on us.
There are very few people that were for me the way Guy was for me. Do you know what I mean by for you or like for me? I mean, when it doesn't make sense, he would be for you. All right, if you were around him, it was easier, right? You just felt where Guy was, you're just like, whoa. You were energized, there's something just coming from that man. And what I found when I got older was it was true on the phone. It was true over text message. It was true on FaceTime. I knew Guy was for me. And as I've been reflecting on that in the last few weeks, I've been asking God, what's so special about that? Help me. Please help me. And he did help me. God's been helping me with loss. And what he's been showing me is the last in-depth conversation I had with Guy. I was sharing the amount of losses I've had in my life the last 6 months or so. Some are difficult, some I need to just get over. And he told me as such. But for the hard ones, I was sharing with him, and he had such compassion. It was unbelievable. He cried on the phone with me. I was so marked by his compassion in the moment. And he was encouraging as always. And what I'm finding is Guy's ability to encourage and be for me like he was for you, that mirrors the very Spirit of God. Right? The best part of God's Spirit was a mirror of God's Spirit. That's why I was so stirred with every interaction with Guy. Every single one, since 7th grade on. And they got sporadic, they got really frequent, everything in between. When my heart was stirred, the best part of his Spirit was God's Spirit. And the reason why he could have such compassion was because God is a compassionate God. And I want you to know, whether you're watching online this morning or here in this room, please take a second, as many minutes as you can, and think back on the best part of God's Spirit. It directly mirrors the Spirit of God, and his presence is here this morning. He is here even though we're facing loss. And although it is difficult, just like Guy was encouraging despite circumstances, God is saying, I'm the one. Despite circumstances, I am here, I am compassionate, and I am grieving and brokenhearted with us. And so when you think about Guy and all the stories you do have, the best part of his Spirit was actually God's Spirit talking to you and communicating to you for a very long period of time. Thank you for this moment one more time. Thank you.
A few months ago, a guy calls me, and he wanted to pray. So we prayed. I prayed first. Then Guy continued on with the prayer. He prayed in his native tongue, and he translated for me. Guy knew how much I love to hear you guys speak in your native tongue. Guy is just a special, special young man. I'm gonna miss you, Guy. I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
Guy was an amazing person, right? My mom always taught me when things happen, she always would tell me, Tony, it was already written. It was written a long time ago. God already had a plan for you, but it's up to you to find that out. And I will always remember that. So when the plane crashed, during that time, we were all looking for answers, and we're all just in total disarray. And God would look at me and say, Brox, didn't you tell me it was already written? I looked at him and I smiled and I said, you're right, it was already written. I say that because that's one thing about God. He was always selfless. Even in the time, even in the worst of times, that man was always selfless, and he always cared about people. He always cared about people's feelings, and people would radiate towards him. That's one thing about God. If anything, you had an amazing son. And he was an amazing friend. Amazing friend. I'm so sorry.
I know that his family, his nieces and nephews meant so much to him. I know that his family in Nigeria meant so much to him. We talked about the things that he was planning on doing, the things that he was doing. And the only thing I can say is take advantage of your opportunities, love on each other. I told God this all the time, man, we don't know how much time we have. And he was hard-headed, and he told me he was gonna be here forever, and I just never thought that this day would be here. I love that dude so much. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that there's a lot of people he impacted. I was fortunate enough to be in Detroit with him, to see the impact that he made on a lot of kids' lives there. And for those kids and for everyone, just keep going. Take advantage of your opportunities. Love on each other. Don't think that tomorrow is gonna come and you say, I'm gonna call somebody, because it may not come. But I have to believe that there's more to life and there's more to what God has to offer, and I believe that he brought us all here. I just have so much love for that guy, and I hope that I'm sure everyone does, but I just wanted to come up here and say something, because I would speak to God from probably 12 o'clock to 6 in the morning. That was our time to speak. And so when it gets dark and my kids go to sleep and the house gets quiet, that's when I really begin to miss God, because I know he would be calling me sometime between there. Yeah, and we would have conversations, and that was the only time I could get him on the phone, was sometime between 12 and 6 in the morning. So I'm definitely missing them, and I don't even know what to say, man. I just had to come up here and say something. I love y'all, and this is extremely hard for me, but I'm gonna get off the mic, and thank y'all. I appreciate it.
When I think about Guy, I think about love. I'm not a very religious person, but Guy always showed me love. He always would stop me. He was the Kanye West, man. He would say, I'm gonna let you finish this conversation, but first, have you heard about my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And that was how Guy was. Everything had a reason. You could justify anything, you could get through anything if you believed in God, if you had love for each other, if you would just be in that moment and appreciate it for what it was. And that's just how Guy was. I never had a bad time, never have a bad memory. We got through whatever it was, and he was always there for me, like he was for everyone here, it seems. He was beautiful. He was probably one of the best people I know, and it comes from a beautiful family, like I said, who've accepted me since the jump. So, again, about 20 years go by. I hadn't spoken to Guy. I find out my father passed, and I remember the last time Guy called me. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I remember hearing my phone go off, literally 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm laying in bed now with my wife and kids. This is about 3 months ago. And I say, who's calling me? Still had the same phone number. Look at my phone, I see Guy Ikpah. Just start laughing. He says, I didn't understand the message then. He leaves me a voicemail. He says, yo, Shugs, the king is back. The king is back, man. I don't think he was talking about himself. I think he knew. I think that he knew his time was near and that he was embracing it. And I think that he knew he was going to a better place, leaving all of us with his memory. And I think we were all blessed to have him. So I'm not sad. I know Guy is with my father. I know my father loved Guy. And I know that they're taking care of each other and everybody's looking down on all of us. Again, he left a powerful message with me that helped me deal with a lot. He was always there for me in my hard times. And I can't say enough good things about him. Guy was love.
I had a very unique opportunity to spend time with Guy throughout my life. I got to experience him in various chapters of his life and various chapters of mine. And 2016, I moved out to Michigan and I worked with Guy with Paragon Basketball. And like you guys were saying, I got to see the foundations that he was laying out there and the impact that he was leaving. Some years had gone by, and in 2020, Guy reached out to me and we started a friendship, and that friendship grew into a relationship, and I really grew to love your son. And I know how much that he loved me, and I know how much he loved you guys, and he would talk about his family daily. He absolutely adored you guys. He adored people. As you guys were saying, Guy loved people. He spent time with people. He cared, he cried, he laughed. And I'm so glad that God wrote Guy back into my story in the time that he did. Looking back, I don't know why it happened the way that it did, but I'm so glad that we had the time together that we did. I'm so sorry for your loss. Your son was extremely special, and I will carry him with me and in my heart for the rest of my life. When you look at Guy and his legacy and what he's left behind, it's people like the ones who have come up and spoken. It's his former players, it's his siblings, it's the people in this room, and we get to continue to share Guy's story, and we get to continue to leave his legacy. So through this difficult time, with God's grace, I just ask and pray that you guys continue to share stories about Guy, continue to talk about him, continue to write about him. Don't forget who he was and what he did, because he was extremely special. And so I want to leave you with my words of comfort, my words of love, whatever you guys need. I'm a phone call away, and I'm always here as a friend.
He pushed you to be better. And at the time, I didn't see it. It was kind of just, all right, I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I got to get up for school tomorrow. But I can honestly say that I would not have, gone to college on a full scholarship at a Division I school without Guy pushing me the way he did and molding me and training me to become the player that I was. So I know he means a lot to my family, and I know he means a lot to everyone. So I just want to thank you guys
for him and bringing him into our lives, because my life would be very different without him. So
he had a huge impact in my life. I will never forget him, and he's helped me provide the confidence to know that I can do anything, that I can meet anyone, and to never think that you're below someone or that you can't add value in their lives. And I thank you very much for bringing Guy into my life, and I will dearly miss him.
Just being out in the world, Guy was just love. If you get a phone call from him at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know you're not getting off the phone until 7:30. So it was just, later on, in April and everything, as everything started to roll around for him, he began to call me more and more frequently. And I would listen. Guy was like, I'm doing big things in Nigeria. You coming with me? You're going to be there by my side. You're going to be this and you're going to be that. He had plans for everybody. The plans for everybody to be with him in Nigeria at one point, working with him doing something. And, I really believe that he felt that he was going to be able to accomplish those things. But I think part of him also knew that his time was short. So we always would just talk about, when it's time, let me know. I'm here, I'm with you. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't hesitate to call me. And he would take me up on that, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Guy, I gotta work. He's like, no, we're not done talking about my plans for Nigeria and everything else. So, but I can't begin to put in words what he meant to me. I can't begin to put in words just being in that household and growing up and all the things we used to do. It was love. It was love from the moment he met me when I first came to Jersey at 13 to the moment he left us in May. And I can't put that relationship with him as my brother into words. So I thank you for just letting me be in that. I'm thanking God for just letting me be in his life, being part of that story, because there's no words to describe what my brother meant to me.
Guy stuck with me my whole life. He worked with my father at Sears Home Life, and him and my dad used to share lunch breaks. My dad would bring him lunch and they'd talk, and he got a lot of tutelage from my father. He would periodically text me when he felt like I was upset, when he was worried about me. He had like a sixth sense. Anytime I was gonna lose my mind, Guy was there. He had Christmas, he came back, and it was Faraz's 40th birthday party, and I said, I want to bring you to the party, man, surprise Faraz on his 40th birthday. And he got dressed in his gear, and he came there, and I never forget my friend. And he was the king of the party, even at Faraz's birthday party, and sharing just in so much love. Guy was just a ball of light, just a light, just a guardian. Show you the way, walk with you, stand beside you. My father passed on Good Friday, 2018. The second I got the news, I couldn't talk for like a day. I couldn't even think about it. It was surreal to me. It's still surreal right now. But I know he's with my dad. I know he's with the Lord. He lived a good life. And I feel him every day in everything I do. He's my brother. I love him. I love you. Message of Christ is love. God is in a much better place. Guy, much better place in this world right now. But his love and everything he shared will always be right here. Ikpah.
I remember coming back from Vegas and my mom telling me, listen, when you get too high, right, life has a way of knocking you back down. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you've done. When you get too high, when you set your bar too high, you're obsessed with being here and you start getting there, life has a way of knocking you down. I said, Mom, I love you, but someone's got to be at the top, and your son's it. I need you guys to be obsessed with becoming great. Last one. 35 seconds. Go!